Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream. Today, Bitcoin and crypto and markets are looking very green. And that's because we have this groundbreaking executive order. So, what is it? Why is it significant? Why is it making everything go up? Let's talk about it, and let's talk about how Bitcoin and ETH are set to blast off. All right, let's do it, guys. If I could fix this so it's not black. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are starting out the day at 116. Much better than yesterday, but still a little bit down from our previous 118, 119 level. But we are definitely moving in the right direction. Bitcoin is up about 1%, but then, you could see ETH is up almost 4%. SUI is back to almost $4, up 7%. You got Sol that's up about 2 something, and even ADA up almost 4%. So today, looking pretty strong right off the bat. The U.S. market is looking pretty strong too right now. Almost plus 300 already for Dow and plus 200 for NASDAQ. Bitcoin related stocks like MicroStrategy, Hood, Coinbase, all in the green. Today's looking pretty good. Pretty good so far. Now, why is that? A couple reasons. These reciprocal tariffs are coming into effect today. So that means the U.S. could be getting billions upon billions upon billions of tariffs. I don't know if this is what's really making markets go up, but maybe. There are still a lot of trade deals being worked on right now. Okay, a lot of investments also. Apple yesterday declared that they're putting in another 100 billion on top of their 500 billion, okay, to try to try to get with the movement and try to produce more things in the U.S. And Trump also did this, declared that any chips that are being imported in the U.S. will face 100% tariff unless the manufacturer is committed to building a factory here in the U.S. Interesting. But what's really making crypto go up today is this new executive order that's coming. And that is this, that Trump is set to sign an executive order that will allow 401ks to invest in crypto. Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, SUI, and others. Okay. This is pretty darn big. Why is that big? Because the 401k market has trillions, tens of trillions of dollars, and they are now open. Okay. Now, anyone holding their own 401k can now buy Bitcoin with it. This is pretty significant. I've heard many people ask me this, like, oh, why can't I buy Bitcoin with my 401k? Now you can. But it goes beyond just Bitcoin, digital assets. It also includes real estate and what's the other thing that you can do? Private equity as well, which is interesting. But this is what got a lot of people excited today. There are just, like every day. Every day we're hearing about new favorable regulations, new policies, and we're seeing more and more businesses, obviously, and retail coming into this space. And this is another great news that just came out that will help even accelerate more of that. This is just good. It's good all around. When you have a market worth 12 trillion plus that now is open to Bitcoin and crypto, what's not to love about it, right? So fantastic stuff. And yesterday, we finally saw a reversal with the ETFs. I did mention how we had 4 outflow days. One pretty bad one on the first earlier this month. But you know what? We finally flipped to the green side. There's now buying once again. And that is a very good thing. And same thing with Ethereum too, although Ethereum had 2 straight days of inflows. So bottom line is the panic selling from Wall Street may be over. We had 4 straight days of it. People were a little afraid about some of the stuff that came out last week, but we may be over. And now we are ready to get back to where we were and make a new high. It's going to happen. Sooner or later, we will see a new high for Bitcoin and for the entire crypto market cap. And it's going to come sooner than people think. It always does. No one ever expects it. Whenever we make these big moves, no one really is prepared. It just happens. And it happens very, very quickly. And today, we may go right back up to 118, 119 if things continue. All right. Now, here's something interesting. Bakkt. I haven't really heard of this company for a while, but this back in the day, Bakkt was the very first company that was going to come out with Bitcoin futures, I believe. And there was some controversy. The CEO decided to leave and become a senator and all this stuff. I mean, it was just like a lot of complex stuff. Anyways, they're still around and they're doing some kind of interest. I don't know what. I guess because they want that name. They bought some Japanese textile company, or at least bought 30% of it, and then they're going to rebrand as Bitcoin.jp, and they're just going to become a Bitcoin holding company now. So, I don't know why. That textile company is like, all right, screw it. We're not going to make a textile anymore. We're just going to become a Bitcoin company. Well, I guess these days, that's not so uncommon when you have like Metaplanner and Remix Point. They're just acquiring Bitcoin and they are doing extremely well. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're like, hey, screw it. We don't need to produce more blankets. We're just going to acquire more Bitcoin. That's the better strategy. So yes, so that's happening. And obviously, the usual players are still acquiring. But this is interesting that MicroStrategy, one of the usual players, bought 182,000 Bitcoin year to date so far. And because of their buying, and not just them, others too, but basically in cumulative, we had so much buying in the OTC market. The OTC basically market is drying up. This is what it's saying. You could see how it's just decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. The OTC market is actually lower than even 2016 levels. And that's when Bitcoin was in the hundreds. So it goes to show you that, yeah, even though we have a lot of OTC buying, and a lot of people always get angry about like Sailor and others buying OTC and not really affecting the market price all that much. Long term, these buying definitely do. And I've said that because, hey, there will always be people that sell OTC. But the overall number of Bitcoin out there is consistent and stays the same. It's not like this is new inflation. This is not like the Fed or any other central bank just printing more money and handing it out. No. Doesn't matter where the whales buy from, either the OTC or spot market. It's coming from the same group of 21 million Bitcoin. So it's definitely having an effect. And this will continue to drop because, you know why? Sailor and ETFs and BlackRock and others, they're not going to stop buying. They're just not. That's why this is the one asset you want to just hold in DCA long term and pretty much forever, because it is scarce and demand is going up, and you do the math. What do you think is going to happen, right? All right, now short term, we're in this pattern very similar to one that we had in 2016, right before we had a huge monster climb that went from $1,000 to $20,000 in 2017. Yeah, we peaked at 20,000 in 2017. Who wouldn't go back in time and put all their money, even at 20,000, right? It seems silly back in the day if you bought at 20,000 only to watch Bitcoin go back down to $3,000. Yeah, that felt horrible. But hey, if you didn't give up and you continued to hodl, look at where you are now, 3,000 up to 117,000. I'd say that's a pretty good return. It goes to show you again why you never really want to sell Bitcoin, unless you want to take some profits. But Bitcoin just continues to go up and up and up and up because of the scarcity factor and because demand continues to go upwards. So anyways, what this is showing is, hey, if we're repeating the same pattern as 2016, guess what's going to happen next? We're also seeing this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which could drive us obviously higher to the next leg. And what is that next leg? According to this person, the next leg will be around $133,000, and it could come very quickly. Like I said, when we start going up, we just go up very, very, very fast. This cycle, it's been a little bit slower in terms of these parabolic jumps. But hey, we're getting into the latter half of this year, or we are in the latter half of this year. We're getting into the final months of this cycle, and that's when things can get very, very exciting. But according to this, we're going to hit 133,000 really quickly within the next week or so. And then we come back down, and then we go back up to another high, and then we keep going. But this is showing by September, we should be at $150,000. And keep in mind, in September, we're going to get that rate cut too. And just like last year and the year before that, October was when things got really hot. Last year was, it started October. The end of October when we started going upwards. And the year before that, people don't realize that's when we started going up too. So it could be the same way. Things are playing out the same way. Now, outside of Bitcoin, you know what? You got this other guy, Tom Lee, who was actually a big Bitcoin bull too. But somehow he's secretly been stacking ETH or Ether. He says his company, BitMine, is buying Ethereum 12 times faster than Strategy bought Bitcoin. Well, back in the day, Saylor didn't go so crazy with Bitcoin. But Tom Lee is. And that's the reason why I think ETH is doing so well. And also, yesterday, the SEC said that liquid staking is not deemed to be a security. And that's pretty significant. Basically, they've been making all the favorable rules towards crypto. Staking in general is not a security. Liquid staking is not a security. I mean, basically nothing is a security. I don't even know. Stablecoins definitely not security. I don't even know what's out there left that is a security. Meme coins are not securities. So, I mean, everything favorable is coming, right? It's being ruled, and this is, of course, going to help the entire industry. It's going to foster innovation is what it's going to do, okay? Previously, all these crypto companies, none of them wanted to be in the U.S. They were all overseas. They were afraid of the SEC. And now, there's basically no fear. Everything is like, not a security. You're able to do it. Come on back. And this is going to be absolutely fantastic going forward. And in case you're wondering, yeah, you know how I always show the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, and I can show it to you for Bitcoin right now. But this is the one for ETH, and it is definitely showing there are a lot of shorts waiting to be liquidated above 3,900 to 4,000. And you know those market makers, they love to liquidate people, longs and shorts. It doesn't matter. Either way, either side. So could be the reason why ETH is looking like it wants to break 3,900 today and 4,000 possibly. And same thing with Bitcoin. And the last thing I'll say about this is stablecoin market is sky high, 261 billion. And just imagine when we have altcoin season and that 261 billion actually flows into the alts, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Okay, we have more liquidity this cycle than we ever did in any previous cycles by far. There are still a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, still waiting for the altcoin season to come before they enter. But that's a lot of money. That's already in crypto. This doesn't even encompass money outside of crypto waiting to come in. This is money already in. People are sitting on this, waiting to spend it. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. All right. That's pretty much it overall today. Pretty darn good overall. Robinhood is up 3%. Coinbase up 2%. And of course, Bitcoin is up. All right, let's do some Q&A. I did notice that Bitcoin dominance has started flipping downwards again. Again, if this continues to go down and it breaks below 60, that would be another telling sign that altcoin season is here. Traveler Jeff asks, car question, Tesla X or Infinity QX80? Both, it's like asking me to pick between rock and a hard place. Neither car is very good. I would choose something else. QX80 is a huge car, and it does not compare to X, and the X is not that great. So, you know, pick better cars. The new Navigator, Lincoln Navigator, is awesome. I took a ride in one recently. The new Escalade is awesome. Pick one of those. Yes, Lane asked, if I transfer everything to my cold wallet, when it's time to sell, do I have to transfer it back to the exchange? Yes. I mean, you can trade with or for USDT or USDC without leaving your wallet, but if you want cash, then yes. Why does everyone drive a Land Rover when they crap out? That's a good question. That's why I still don't have one, but they do look gorgeous. Range Rovers do look gorgeous. But every single one eventually has a problem. You just can't fix it. I don't know if the new ones are better. I don't think so, but still. It shows you what brand recognition does. Even though people know that the car's going to have a problem, they still buy it. We will get a 50 basis point cut from the Fed in September. You know what? I've been talking about that. I think it can happen. Right now, there's a 91% chance that there will be a cut in September. I have a feeling we can go even lower than that and get a 50 basis point cut. We'll see. When am I getting the RS6? I don't know. I have too many cars, man. I have too many cars and not enough garage space. So I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't even have time to drive all my cars now. But it would be nice. That car looks sick. Reza just picked up a green G80 M3. Nice. Nice. M3s are still really nice. But I don't know if you guys noticed the M's gotten so expensive. M3s are like, what, 70s, 80s now? And then M5s are 100 plus. I mean, when did they get so expensive? Defenders are fun. Yeah, I know someone that just got a Defender. It looks great. Look, Defenders look great. But again, electrical issues or whatever issues always happens. And we are still looking good. Let me see. The Bitcoin liquidation chart. I was looking at this earlier. So we broke through some levels here. I think, you know, with today's momentum, if we could keep pushing, we'll definitely push past there, which is like the 117, 118 level. So we could probably push to 118 today. If we continue to liquidate and have some short squeezes, we definitely can. If we go down and retrace a little bit, we'll probably go back to 115. Super Cycle Stevo, the Jeep 392 will be in my main garage. That thing is a beast. It is. That's why I have it. I love that car. Even though it doesn't drive very well, the turning radius is as bad as a semi-truck. And it's bumpy and stuff. It doesn't matter. The exhaust makes up for it. And the thing just looks like a beast. It's just an awesome car. There are so many Jeeps, by the way, on a random note. There are so many Jeeps, by the way, in Hawaii. I mean, left and right. Every third car is a Jeep. Yeah, Marty says, I had a brand new Discovery and I had check engine light within 20K miles. Yeah. Yeah. GX 550. The new, I saw one recently on the street. It looks good. GX 550. Lexus did a good job with the new GXs. But it's using like a turbocharged. It's either a turbocharged i4 or turbocharged 6-cylinder. And I don't like that. I want a V8. I don't know why they had to go in that direction. And it doesn't get good fuel economy. I saw a guy post on TikTok saying that his GX 550 averages 9 miles per gallon after driving 4,000 miles. Now, it could be he's just driving the city, but still, that's horrible. Arun is asking, hi George, do you think XRP or SOL or ETH Which one would be better for long haul? I think they're all going to be good. They're all going to stay. They're not going to go away. And they all have their own advantages. So, all good. Shilly asks, what about H-bar? You got to be more specific. What about it? It's an American-based project, which will help. So that's good. I haven't heard about other things that, that we heard months ago. I haven't heard any of those things come true, but they're one of the bigger ones in the US, and I think they're ISO compliant, which is great. So Jim Bean says XRP, H-bar, Linker go work together to change financial systems. I don't. Okay, if that happens. And HB, no, I'm not going to cover SPX 6900. Did you do a full circle around the island in Hawaii? I was shocked to see the other side of the homelessness. I saw a few, but I drove around the entire island. This is a small island. It's not the big island. I didn't see that many. So maybe you were on the bigger island. GV80 or Lincoln Nautilus. See, those are two cars that I personally would never look at. I'm not a Genesis guy, and I'm not a Lincoln guy. So I wouldn't go with either one. For a luxury midsize, go with the X5. That's probably the best. GLE is nice. I mean, heck, even the new Lexus GX. Midsize, there's so many options. Would you get a F-150 Lightning or a hybrid power boost? I have driven the F-150 Lightning. It drives nice, really, really nice. But just keep in mind, if you go tow with that thing, it will eat up range like there's no tomorrow. If I was getting a F-150, I'd just get a normal one, the 5-liter or EcoBoost. I'll probably get a Tremor. If I could afford it, then of course the Raptor. So, but I would try to get a Tremor. They look nice. Lightnings drive really well. I'm not going to diss on that. They drive really well, really fast, quiet, comfortable, and smooth. But the range kind of sucks. So if you don't tow a lot and you just drive around the city, you don't go on a lot of long trips, Lightning is really good. And Ford is giving huge incentives for people to take them off the lot. But if you do a lot of towing or you have a lot of payload all the time, it's not going to be good for that. Recommendation, please, for a large family SUV for a lot of road time. If you want a large 3-row, the Toyota Grand Highlander is a good one. It's a little pricey, but it's good. The new Pilot is really good. Honda Pilot's really good. The Telluride is still good. My wife is 350 pounds. Lightning is not a good option. It is a good option. It is. Chase, yes, the new Pilot is actually a huge. When I drove the new Pilot, because I had the old Pilot. My wife had the old Pilot for a long time. The new Pilot is a huge improvement over the old one. And I think they had to do it because the Telluride was eating everyone's market share. So the new Pilot is actually really good. And I love how the middle seat in the second row could be removed, so you could turn it into a captain chair setup. And when you don't want it to be a captain chair setup, you just want to fit a third person in the back, you could put that middle seat back. It's genius. I don't know why others don't do that. They had it in their Odyssey for the longest time, and it's just a really smart thing. But it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Hey, Sol above 170. Still looking for it to be back above 200. JD says, should have done this year ago. Stay cool. What should you have done? Stay cool a year ago or become a member? I don't know, but yeah, thanks. 5 gifted membership. Nice. Hey, you know, yesterday afternoon or at night, I watched Fantastic Four with the family. Um, wasn't that bad. Wasn't that good either. The plot is kind of weird, but but it was decent. It wasn't that bad for a Marvel film. Just to share. Yeah, Coinbase having good recovery, 4%, but they're still way down from 430. Robinhood above 111 keeps on going. Awesome. Circle's down. I don't know what's up with Circle. They're just not getting their recent momentum, their previous momentum, I should say. You know, surprisingly, my whole time in Hawaii, I didn't get recognized. So I think the crypto community in Hawaii is very low. It's just weird, you know. It's like a weird time zone. It's not Asia's time zone. It's not US's time zone. So it's a weird thing. And everyone in Hawaii is just like super chill. But normally when I go to crowded places like resorts or, you know, wherever, malls, whatever, I get recognized all the time. I did not get recognized one time in Hawaii at all. I just think it has a very low crypto audience, I guess. And I was there for over a week. And yeah, there are a lot of Asians, a lot of Japanese people there, which is surprising. But like half the population is like Japanese and half is like Hawaiian. I don't actually know why there's so many Japanese there. For future videos, can you do segments in different categories? I will. I've done that before. I'll start doing them again when the market conditions are right. Just saw electric been clearing yesterday, waiting for it to start, and nothing. I was so disappointed. All right, guys. I guess that's it. Overall today, nothing to complain about. Things are very green. Looking like they want to go up even more. The US market's green too. Everything's looking good. This is why you hold on DCA. Right? So, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Have a good one, and take care. Bye-bye.